able to take care of themselves, so they, and stuff, okay? And I think that people's critiques online was that men fetishize a woman who are not able to take care of themselves, so they, I guess they fetishize taking care of women, so therefore men suck. I don't know. It's listen, Twitter drama. I don't take.
What the fuck, man? Alright, hold up. Bit of technical difficulty. I got backup headphones if these are gonna keep fucking up. But anyway,
I guess
therefore men are bad.
Taking care of women.
Men are.
So therefore men suck. I don't know,
Yep.
dude. It's listen, Twitter drama. I don't take Twitter drama seriously.
Man-hating feminist.
Terrible mistake of logging onto Twitter, where I saw this post.
Nobody thinks about the men.
The anime Josie, the Tiger, and the Fish, a movie about a college student who's assigned to take care of a paraplegic girl.
Okay, so those of you that don't know, Shoe on Head is unfortunately is a somehow still relevant political commentator. She rose to fame for being a woman that is like passionate about men's issues, the male loneliness epidemic. She's a male loneliness epidemic content creator. All right, that's it. That's pretty much it. I don't really have much else to say about it. Obviously, with that, you're going to have a lot of like misogyny. You're gonna have just like generally bad takes when you're like constantly defending like men's issues all the time. Like that's all you fucking talk about. Like she's a conservative. She's a conservative adjacent person. There was like, I know that there's been like a lot of drama and controversy about her over the years, but I can't fucking remember any of it. I don't fucking care. But she's probably done some gross shit that people have distanced themselves from her over. Because she has maintained relevance, in my opinion, somehow. Like, she's still doing this shit. She doesn't seem to, like, be stopping. She doesn't seem to have a regular job. Like, somehow she's still, like, making a living off of this. But she doesn't have nearly the relevance that she did a few years ago. She doesn't have really any friends in the space, because the friends that she did have don't make content anymore. Like who was she friends with back in the day? Fucking the skeptic YouTubers, the anti-feminist YouTubers. That's like her crowd, okay? That's her people. The feminist owned compilation number
girl,
1,000,
and spoiler,
whatever.
eventually they fall in love. Many men were yearn posting in the replies of this tweet and talking about how they wish to fall in love and would love a relationship like this, while many others, mostly women, were absolutely f***ing disgusted at this. Why would a bunch of men be fantasizing about being with a woman in a wheelchair? Seems pretty creepy and predatory, right? Also just unrealistic and problematic.
So lapwing? Yes, lapwing.
Well, in this video, we are going to be talking about why so many men resonated to that clip and this movie, and why so many people are so confused as to why. We are also going to be reading some absolutely unhinged tweets, as usual, to get to the bottom of why such a wholesome post turned into, once again, another battlefront for the ongoing...
Because it's weird once you start to, it's, okay, it is not weird to date a disabled person. That's not weird. What's weird is to, like, fantasize about wanting to date a disabled person because they're disabled. That's the weird part. Okay, like, let's not get it twisted. Like, the movie, I haven't seen it. It seems decent. It seems like an okay movie, good message behind it. Okay, great. Like, don't judge people based off of superficial things like whether they can fucking reach the top shelf or not at the supermarket. Okay, very cool. But like, what's weird is that there were a group of men that were like fantasizing about being in that situation, about dating a disabled person, because like I think men want to they want that, like, we have these ideas about what masculinity is, what it means, and men, they want we want I'm a man myself. We want to be masculine. We want to appear more masculine. Even those of us that like don't care as much about it, or like don't care at all, like even we all like play this role. Like we all like wear we do the song and dance of masculinity. Okay, and anyway, part of that is being a protector, right? It's being not just like a protector, but like a person that protects the weak, the people that need it. Okay, so like, yeah, I don't, it's not it's not like, it's not out of the ordinary for men to want this, okay, to like want to like protect somebody that like is obviously in a position where they are like vulnerable. Like all disabled people to some extent, in varying degrees, are vulnerable to being victimized by like criminals, by institutions, and as men, we like ideally want to protect people like that, and so that's why having a like conventionally attractive woman who just so happens to be disabled is an attractive thing to men. Okay, and I the reason I say this is because I don't want to do what these people are saying that leftists are going to do, or going to say, which is that like men are evil, and like they want this type of situation so that the woman can't escape, so she can't leave. Okay, like I think that while that's like a factor in it, while there are men that fantasize about this, I think that that's a factor. I don't think that it is like the main point of like I don't think it's the main thing that's going on here. Okay, there are other and I don't think it is. I agree that it's not productive to reduce men to basically being like savage animals that like even though we kind of are like even though low key we kind of are, like it's not good to paint men in that way. And I spend a lot of time like talking about men's issues and whatnot, because I'm a man. Like I can't help it. Like I live the life of a man, and so I see the problems that men have, and so I talk about them. But I do talk about like about lots of things that I don't personally experience. That I do talk about other people's lives and their experiences as well, because we should all do that. We should all listen to each other and talk about these things, and like talk about how we feel about them. Okay, unless you are an insane person like these two people are. Don't get it twisted. I do not like I already knew that Foodshops was gonna agree with Chew on Head. Okay, of course she fucking was. It's fucking Chew on Head, and this is Foodshops. Like, that's not surprising at all. I will probably not agree with everything in this video with what she says. I have a feeling, actually, that there is going to be some unhinged shit that these people are about to talk about pertaining to men and how men are like treated and how they feel in society. Okay, and what I'm saying is men have grievances with how we're raised, with how we're treated, and that's valid. Okay, but also men be having grievances about things that are completely invalid because of historic oppression, okay? Because it's just like leftists always say, when the oppressor is greeted with equality, they see oppression. They see themselves as victims of oppression. That's what happens. So I think a lot of this is like a lot of these men's issues, not all of them, but many of them, most of them even, are just men like seeing equality and being like, we don't like this. Or actually, like, this equality is causing the inequality. It's actually inequality. It's causing this other, like, okay, I also want to say this too. I know I've talked for a while. I'm gonna start the video again. But men are victims in society. Okay, unsurprisingly it's unsurprising that I think this and that this is the case, actually. But men are victims of society just like everyone else, just like women, just like white men, okay, just like people of color. White men, while they may be seen by leftists as the oppressors, the genuine leftist will still acknowledge that men are oppressed because everyone is oppressed by the ruling class. We are all oppressed. Like, we are all suffering, okay? And it's not because of our identities as it pertains to our creed, our sexual orientation, our race, yada yada, but because we are poor, because we are the peasants of, like, if we lived in medieval society, we would be the peasants, okay? Everybody's a fucking peasant. We're all peasants, and so we're all suffering in the same way. And the problem is that many men who are stupid and uneducated because they grow up here in the United States where, we have shitty education, we have shitty everything. Okay, a lot of men grow up and they feel this oppression, they see it, and they think that it's the pendulum swinging. They think that it's because of women's rights. It's because of civil rights. They think that it went too far. It went too far. Now we're being oppressed. Now it's happening to us. No, man, you were always being oppressed. White men were always being oppressed in this country. But because the black man was below, because you were always on top of some other racial group or women, because of that, white men didn't notice. They didn't notice that they were peasants because there was always an even bigger peasant below them. Do you understand? Like you were always a peasant, man. So was your dad, and his dad. Like even though they were white men living in the 19th century, in the 20th century, they were oppressed too by rich people. Okay, so that's my point. That's probably what my overarching narrative is going to be. I don't know. It depends on what they're going to say.
Women versus men.
We'll see what they say.
The male loneliness epidemic, the female loneliness epidemic, the dealing with dating apps. Do men prefer thin women or curvy women? Brunettes or blondes? Do women like dad bods or fit men? Do they like beards or clean shaven? Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's quickly get into today's sponsor, Henson Shaving.
Before we continue, I actually have an opinion about this as well that I want to say. And I've said this before, and I will say it again. All like physical attractiveness, all superficial physical like things that you're attracted to. If you're a guy, you're attracted to skinny women, or you're attracted to like curvy women, or blonde hair, or brown hair, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. Literally anything about appearance. It is not good. It's bad. Ideally, the way that somebody looks shouldn't fucking matter. It shouldn't even matter if they're a man or a woman. Okay, you should be your partner, the person that you spend the rest of your life with, should be a person that you can spend the rest of your life with. Okay, it should be like their personality should come first. Okay, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how hot someone is if you can't sit through a movie with them. Okay? If you can't talk with them at the dinner table, if you have nothing to talk to them about, then like you're going to have a shitty relationship. And not even just romantic relationships. This is true with friendships as well. Okay? So we should all try not to judge others by their appearance. Obviously. To me, it's obvious. Okay? And that is first and foremost. But at the same time, everybody, I don't think anybody exists that, there is nobody that exists that doesn't have preferences for, like, the appearance of their partner. Like, we all have these superficial beauty standards that we hold others to. But the point is to try to see past that. Try to understand what your preferences are and, like, how to get around them. Like how to like, me personally, I like women that are shorter than me. I'm not afraid to say it. I've said it before. I do. Okay, but like I really try not to do that, not to hold women to that standard, because it's only limiting my options. Like, because I like women that are shorter than me, now suddenly I've barred myself from dating women that are taller than me. And how is that good? How is it good that I can't, now there's this whole group of women that I can't date because of my own brain, because of what's going through my brain, man. So that's why it's not good. That's why you should not do it. And I have a feeling that what these two are going to say is going to be like, men are, like, they're going to both sides this shit, okay? They're going to all lives matter this shit, because that's what men's rights is all about. It's just fucking all lives matter.
Except that some products are just garbage.
Oh, men are also held to unfair beauty standards. I know, man. I know
For
that.
years,
Like,
we
we know that shit.
On the first wear was just a part of being a human woman. We just accepted that. That's just how it is, sweetie. But that shouldn't be. For blades, now is the perfect time.
Don't skip her ad. Come on. I wouldn't even do that. Don't skip people's ads, Shoe on Head.
An anime
if you're gonna watch the damn
fact,
video, watch the ad.
About anime. I am probably the most tourist of all the tourists.
I actually have no idea what the fuck she's gonna say, okay?
I know you don't.
We'll see, okay? But I have no idea what the fuck she's gonna... Also,
I know.
33 concurrent viewers, okay? Thank you.
33 viewers? You got 33?
9 likes, alright? 9 likes, 33 concurrent viewers.
Yo, she's up right now.
Okay, come on. Alright, and consider supporting me, okay? Consider supporting me.
I'm literally doing that right now.
Okay, please.
By watching you.
Consider. Alright, thank you.
I gave you a view for free.
It never hurts to consider.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. Was the upskirt shot necessary in order to advance the plot?
Oh, wait, hold the fuck on. I missed something. Witch, are you still in the chat?
Is she still talking about that movie?
Holy shit. Witch, thank
Was
you so
there
much
an
for the $5,
upskirt shot?
okay? Obligatory first dono. Yes, thank
That's
you so much.
fucking crazy.
Yes, fuck, I almost missed it.
They upskirted the
Thank you.
The girl in the anime with in the wheelchair?
And a few years ago, I watched
with the wheelchair
Stars on Netflix. Legoshi, Best Boy,
that
counting
like
VTubers.
that music.
If you're counting VTubers, I watch a lot of anime. But because of this clip going viral, I watched.
Why would you say that? Why would you expose yourself like that? Like, why? You admit to watching VTubers? Like it's one thing when I admit to watching VTubers because it's different. It's different. You cannot call me out for this, okay? Yes, I am a self-admitted VTuber watcher, but I'm different from her because I know that she ain't hate watching all these VTubers, okay? I'm hate watching them. That's what I'm doing. I know she's watching them and she's like, yeah, like, I agree with this take. Like, I don't agree with any of the shit I watch VTubers say. hardly ever. And that is intentional, okay? Because I do know that there are VTubers that I probably am ideologically aligned with. I just don't watch any of them. Because I don't really like VTubers that much. I only want to watch the ones that I hate.
The Tiger and the
But
Fish,
that's
and,
just me.
well, I thought it was a good movie. I recommend watching it. I thought it was a really cute, good story.
It may be, I don't know.
A little
I haven't
bit.
seen it.
And I completely understood what the tweet
I don't
meant
think it would
by
make me
calling
cry,
it the
but
average male fantasy. So, what was wrong with it? Why did this clip go so viral in such a negative way? Why were thousands of people angry at this post? Well,
I feel like they made it obvious. Like, you don't need to ask that question.
And read some of these angry replies to get a better understanding of what the issue is, shall we? Wholesome male fantasy, and it's fetishizing a disabled girl for him to control. Oh no. They think, oh god, why? Always vulnerable, always happy, always needs you. Pretty perverted. Where are these fan fictions coming from? There were like hundreds of tweets just like this. Why did they see a cute montage of a happy couple, a man and a woman happy, together? I know, unheard of. Why did they see that and then immediately come to these conclusions? Like, as someone who actually watched the movie...
Because, not because of the movie, dog. Because of the men that watched the movie. That were, like, talking about how, like, awesome it is. And how they wish that was them. That's weird. That's weird. To say that is weird, okay? It is. You cannot not make it weird. You cannot. Like the movie itself, that's what I keep saying, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that the movie itself is fine. Probably. I haven't seen it, okay? But it's probably fine. It's just a movie about a couple, and one of them, the woman, is disabled, and it's like their love story, okay? That's great. That's really awesome. Okay, what's weird is when people, men, watch the movie, and then they're like, oh yeah, I wish that was me. I wish my girlfriend was disabled. I wish that I had a disabled girlfriend. Like, that is weird, man. That's the point, is that, like, the fantasy that this movie is invoking in the minds of some men is unhealthy, is bad. That's the point. It's not that, like, men are just, like, they're all evil, and they all wanna, like, they all just, like, want to have a disabled girlfriend, and men are pigs, and, like, or whatever, and they want to, like, control the woman that they're with. Okay, but like, certainly some men have made it very apparent that is what they want. That is, you can't deny that there are some men that want this, that, like, have said that they want this, that they saw the movie, and that, like, this was, like, epic, and, like, they want their lives to be like that. Okay? You can't deny that. What you can do is be like, oh, like, look at the blue hair feminist SJWs reacting to it, and, like, hating on all men. They hate all men. They hate all men. Like, no, man. We don't think that all men are creepy and weird and they want this. But, like, I think that it is illustrative of an across the board, like, general male fantasy. Sure, I think that what I mean by that is, I think it is a fantasy that only a man could have. And that is for a reason. That is because of how we are raised and whatnot. Okay, but to reduce this argument to just being like, oh, like, they just hate all men. They just hate all men. It's like, they think all men are evil and creepy. It's like, no, man. You are completely... You're intentionally missing the point, I think, but you're building up straw men to knock them down. That's what you're doing.
Josie is
Let's
not
keep watching.
always happy.
I'm gonna shut up.
And she's absolutely not portrayed
I'm not gonna
as some,
pause
like,
the video again for a little bit.
ooh-woo sex doll waifu. She's boisterous, she kind of has a foul mouth, she's very sassy and headstrong. She like straight up calls him her servant, but she was also very depressed. She basically never left her house.
And all of these are all fantasies as well. Alright, technically speaking, okay? Sassy, boisterous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calls the man her servant, right? I mean, I haven't watched the movie, but like depending on the way that she's like describing it here, and from my knowledge of anime stereotypes, okay, like
Yeah, so this information is being revealed to me as well because I haven't watched the movie, so like I didn't know about any of that. And she's right. That does like kind of play more into the fantasy that men are envisioning in their minds about around this movie after watching this movie. And it does make it more damning. Like I don't know why she would bring this up to be like, "Oh, this actually helps my argument. Like this helps the point that I'm trying to make." Like yeah, men it's not like men want a completely surface level what the fuck am I'm trying to find the words once again. Jacob losing the words. It's not like men have this fantasy in their heads where the woman is like completely servile on a surface level. Like men, I think theoretically, hypothetically, men will fantasize about a like situation where the woman that they're with is servile, yes, but doesn't appear to be servile. You feel me? Like men don't just want a woman that is completely servile. They want one that is, but also doesn't seem like she is. So like you know, is like a woman that's like not afraid to speak her mind, but at the same time, she's in a fucking wheelchair and is entirely dependent on me. Oh man, I would love it if that were like reality. Like that's what we're saying is weird.
That's still something men want, okay? I'm just gonna say.
She was basically a girl failure.
Foodshops is right about that.
Girl
Like,
failure, I love to see representation.
Good point by
Foodshops.
Foodshops.
But they actually show her disability, like, not in a good way. Like, they don't romanticize it, they don't sugarcoat it. And I noticed, unlike a lot of movies, unlike a lot of romance movies, at least like the Hallmark kind, where it's like the stuffy male lead learning to live life from the quirky, cute female lead, he's already got his shit together. And she learns to live life from him. He encourages her to live her dreams. And in return, he learns to live life in a completely different way.
I think some of the best representation, because I don't know how the movie plays out, but the best representation when it comes to movies, about like disabled people is not always painting the disability in a good light. Okay, if you paint it in a realistic light, it also means somebody who is trying to take care of some people also losing their mind about it, right? Where if he really is trying to take care of a paraplegic or whatever the fuck, right, he would be going like, I wish you weren't disabled, right? Like if you really want some kind of, I don't know, character development, right? I really wish you weren't disabled. God, I wish you could just walk. God, just look at you. God, I have to wake up every day just to take care of you. Look at you. And then at the end of the movie, it's like, at the end of the movie, Peak would look like this, okay? You're right, okay? There's a lot of tough things. All right, there's a lot of tough emotions I have to deal with, okay, when I'm dealing with you, but at the same time, I'm thankful for it, okay? Because I'm improving as a person when I'm taking care of you. And sometimes the road is always rough, okay? But I feel like I've improved as a person, okay? Despite the journey to take care of you. And I just want to let you know that you make my life better, all right? That would be peak, okay? That would be cinema, okay? That would be cinema, all right? Now, I don't know how the movie goes, okay, but I'm just saying that would be cinema, all right?
I think that that while that was hyperbole, I still want to like say that would not be a like realistic like you should never ever say that to a disabled person. I don't care if you're their caretaker. I don't care. I'm not going to go into detail. I am not going to like go into detail about this, okay? However, in my immediate family, I have I have a sibling that is disabled, and while I don't live with them right now, and I'm not taking care of them right now, I have before, and I probably will again. And I can say I can say that sometimes you do lose your patience. Sometimes your fuse does run short. Okay, it happens. But still, like, to say something like that, like I wish you weren't disabled. You're like, nah, like that is, you are totally crossing a line there. Like, that is completely unacceptable. I don't think I'm virtue signaling when I say that I would never, ever, ever say something like that. Ever. To anyone. To any disabled person or otherwise. Like, I just, that is completely, you are completely losing the plot if you think that that is, like, a realistic conversation to have. And that's why I say that that was likely hyperbole. And I surely hope it was. I hope you don't think that that is an acceptable way to talk to a disabled person that you are responsible for, Foodshops, hypothetically. And if that is what you think, I pray that you never have to take care of a disabled person yourself. Because that is just like so obviously wrong. Like, I don't know. I have nothing else to say about that.
And I thought that was really cool and sweet. Also, the animation was really good. Is anime good? Have I been sleeping on anime this entire time? His fantasy is that she becomes permanently disabled and helplessly
And then he proceeds to push her down the stairs. Shut the fuck up.
dependent on him, but can still make him a sandwich. Sounds about right. Oh my god, after watching the movie, these tweets are even more insane. But even putting the movie aside, just see.
I mean, like, if you were to ask, like, most men, dude, let's be honest, okay? Most men who fantasize about having, like, a paraplegic girlfriend, to be honest, they probably can't actually deal with a paraplegic girlfriend, okay? Like, unless it's, like, a Discord relationship, okay? Most of these men who are, like, fantasizing about it on Twitter, 100%, if they actually had a paraplegic girlfriend, okay, they're breaking up before a year is over, okay? Period. They're not even living together, all right? Forget about living together. If you live together, you're breaking up even faster than that, okay? It takes a lot of patience and a lot of emotional and physical burden to take care of somebody who is a paraplegic and you're also, like, attached to them emotionally, okay? Especially somebody who has any kind of physical disability or emotional disability or whatever, right? It shouldn't be this romanticized notion of, like, oh, I'm taking care of somebody who really needs my help and I feel like such a pseudo father figure. Oh, I feel like I'm taking care of a little girl, you know? It shouldn't feel like that, all right? Because a lot of it is going to be ups and downs, right? A lot of people with disabilities, right, they're not going to feel like dealing with you on some days, especially when you really want their attention.
So, like, I'm confused because, am I confused? I don't know. Like, I thought that the point of this video, and I may be wrong about this. Straight up, I might be, mistaken. But I thought that the point of this video was to defend these men, right? Like, that have this fantasy, right? But what Foodshops was saying just now is true. It makes sense. Like, these men that fantasize about this, they aren't prepared for a relationship like that. They probably aren't fucking prepared for a regular relationship with an able-bodied person, let alone a person with a disability. But yeah, like, that is accurate. So, like, what are we talking about here? Like, I don't understand. Like, I thought that the point of the video was that the fantasy here was not problematic. And now you're saying, like, okay, here are some problematic things about this fantasy. These are the problems. And, like, I thought that there weren't any problems. Like, what's up? What's up with the... I thought the fantasy was cool. I thought it was great.
You know? Like if your girlfriend ever got depressed, maybe you feel as though you want to
I
take care of them
legitimately
or
may have
whatever
been
the fuck, right?
mistaken
But at
about
the same time, a lot of people
what
don't like.
the
A lot of
perspective
people
was here.
romanticize taking care of a mentally ill girlfriend, but nobody ever realizes the reality of like dealing with a partner who's actually emotionally unwell to the point where it's annoying you, burdening you, making you feel horrible every day. It's not easy, okay? That shit is not easy. All right? If the person is a paraplegic, like they're physically incapable and they're depressed, I don't know about that one. All right, it sounds like a big burden deal, but yeah, I mean, like if it shows a beautiful journey of actually learning to get to know the person and loving them for who they are, despite all the troubles that you put into it and whatever the fuck. Yeah, then that is a beautiful story, right? That is a beautiful thing to celebrate. Yes. For all the shit I give my dad respect for not just
Woke.
straight up divorcing and leaving my mother. Oh, okay.
Lame, woke liberal. Don't
Yes,
care.
no, it's fuck. Okay, I'll give a perfect example. Okay. What if to your understanding, she is actually like, because she is so physically disabled, she is less able to have sex. All right, like she doesn't feel as horny as another girlfriend with her same personality would. Would you be able to deal with that? Most men would not. They wouldn't. They really would not. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Because a lot of men's like security and insecurity is tied around the bedroom and the bedroom only. Okay, so I'm just, it's not, it should like, yeah, this is like the problem with like really romanticized notions is that you lose track of the reality of such relationships, right? Okay, listen, I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but it's just partly because of personal experience as well. Okay, so if something is that you have to deal with her, you will have to deal with her.
So
Yeah.
this is actually a hot take from me. Yeah. But I don't agree with that statement that she just made about men and about the sexuality of men. I think that there are a laundry list of insecurities that come with being a man before we even get to sex stuff, okay? Before we get to penis and whatnot. Or like other, not just penis, but like other sex appeal, your muscles and whatnot. Like before we even get to that, there is like so many other things that make men feel insecure, that all revolve around. And here we go. We're going back to to what I said before. Material conditions. Okay, men are oppressed. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. White men are oppressed, okay, this is evident by their material conditions. Men live in poverty, just like everyone else. We're all impoverished at this point, basically. Like, we're in fucking 2025, and the wealth gap the disparity in the wealth gap is so astronomical. Like, it's just... People still deny it. People are going to continue to deny it. I don't know. They may defend it until the bitter end. But, like, what I'm saying is that men are insecure because of money, because of their assets, because of their place in the capital totem pole, in the capital hierarchy. Okay? Like, that is the main source of insecurity, is what I'm saying. Not sex stuff. And being with a disabled person, yeah, you can, like, sure, like, there are issues surrounding that. There are also issues of material support. Being able to support somebody who has a disability is difficult. They can't make money. They draw Social Security, and sometimes that's it. Sometimes that's all they got. And it's stressful. It's not just, and like, it's mainly stressful for the disabled person. That's why it's so fucked up. Like, it would be awesome if the only problems with dating a disabled person were the sex. But, like, that would be, like, that's the least of your issues, is what I'm saying. We are talking about, if you date a disabled person, that it is highly likely that they will be dependent on you, and you will need to support them somewhat, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on, like, who they how much money their families got, like who else is supporting them, and also like if they can work, how much are they drawing from Social Security, like that is the main thing, is financially, having a romantic relationship that is stable. Okay, with a disabled person, it's a lot harder to do that, unfortunately, because of the society that we live in. And that's why I talk about these things like this quite often. Not specifically disabled people, but like generally social safety nets. They're being stripped away in our country. They have been for many, many decades at this point. It didn't just start with Reagan, but I point to Reagan a lot because that's when it got really bad. Okay, Reagan stripped our federal government of like all welfare. Like the Reagan administration coined the term welfare queen. Like they did this. They did this, and that is what makes life so hard for disabled people. And consequently, that's what makes life so hard for the loved ones of disabled people, for their partners, for their family. Okay, the government wants to kill disabled people. That's what I think. They want to leave them behind. They don't want to take care of them when they owe it to us. The government owes it to us. They don't owe it to disabled people specifically. They do, but not to them specifically, to all of us.
Because she gives you some kind of emotional validation, okay? Based off of taking care of her, like she's some kind of helpless doll, all right? That's what I'm saying, okay? Yeah. I mean, what can she do to stop me? I mean, to be fair, all right, what can any girl do to stop you? Because the vast majority of the time, the male partner is physically stronger, right? Wheelchair or not, you know?
That like cute montage out of context.
Where I work all day, people are hard enough to deal with already. Emotional stability makes home peaceful.
Where
I'll be right back.
Are they getting this? These are very clearly just two happy people. But because the caption was the average male fantasy, their mind immediately goes to the darkest, worst faith interpretation of this. The problem
Obviously, this isn't that big of a big deal, I guess. I mean, like, if you're really saying it's an average male fantasy, is that not kind of accurate? I feel like because a lot of guys are, like, normalized to gender norms and such, right? They're obviously going to fantasize about taking care of their girlfriend, right? I feel like a lot of girls would also fantasize about taking care of their boyfriend, right? Like fuck. Right? Yeah, like, fuck. I don't know. The reverse is true, too. I feel like women could also not handle being with a man who gets disabled. Yeah, sure. Dude, I have seen stories about people leaving the other person even though they were deeply in love, but the other person has terminal cancer. Okay? I have seen deeper and more complicated discourse than this, okay? This is basic discourse, all right? I have seen discussions where it's like, oh, my husband has terminal cancer, all right? He's about to die, so I left him.
Okay, all right. So this is I was gonna say heinous. Maybe I'm doing hyperbole now. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. I don't know. The reason I was gonna say that, and you know, I have a problem. I have a problem with what she just said. Okay, because fucking women, statistically, they don't do this. They do not leave their husbands when the husband becomes disabled or terminally ill. Yes, it happens. It does happen. Just not as often as men leaving their wives who are terminally ill. Did you know that the number one reason that men initiate I'm not exaggerating when I say this, the number one reason for men divorcing their wives, initiating divorce, is because they become terminally ill, because they get cancer. It is so fucked up. It is really fucked up. And then the question is, why? Why does this happen? And the answer is, once again, society. It's because of how we raise men. Okay, it's how we as a society raise men. Like men, yes, this fantasy is real. Men do want to be caretakers, but when they are faced with the reality, most of them will fold. Because it's hard. It's stressful. It's not like the movies. People get sick and they die. It's really, really fucking sad, okay? But, like, it happens. And like, most people, not even just men, okay? I agree with her that, like, most people are not ready for that. Like, you can't be. No, actually, nobody's ready for that. Like, you know, seeing a loved one get sick and die is an event that maybe all of us have to go through, but I wish it on no one. Because it is really hard. But anyway,
because I want to emotionally take care of myself. And then people were, like, going to war over that, okay? So, you know, I'm just saying things are complicated, all right? Like, IRL situations are much more complicated.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they saying, average male fans. They are saying they want to help this disabled woman, but rather a happy ending overall. No, yeah. I also, by the way, all right, a lot of people, God, by the way, okay, you know what's the worst thing? You know what's the worst kind of partner? A boring partner, okay? The worst partner is a boring partner, okay? If you get a trad wife girlfriend, they are some of the most boring ass people ever. Why do you think?
True.
Okay, why do you think all the right wingers? Okay, this is the red pill. Okay, why do you think all the red like? Why do you think actually not just right wingers? Okay, why do you think everybody loves city girls? Seriously, why do you think people love liberal city girls? Everybody. This is not like a discussion. Okay, objectively, it's not a discussion. All right. If you have any kind of romantic experience, okay, because they have personality, they are fun people. They want to go out. They want to enjoy life. All right? They're not people who just want to stay at home, become depressed, and drown their kids. All right? Without even looking, I'm guessing women are more likely to stay with a disabled disfigured man than the other way around. Yeah, sure. Because I actually do think women in general in society are less tied with this insecurity of how oftentimes you have sex, right? Or how oftentimes, whatever. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of womanly needs or whatever the fuck, right? But people are conditioned differently. All right, and you know that's just the objective truth. Okay. Nope. Okay, I just dropped like several truth nukes right there, so you're welcome.
These people can't see any humanity in men. They can't see any humanity in humanity in general. Average male fantasy equals girlfriend with no agency who's completely physically dependent on you and forced into blanket subservience and compliance. Sounds about right.
I'm from the city. I think it's because they're not my cousin. KW. Huh?
You males are weird for fetishizing physically disabled women. Average male fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be that guy, I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist. The implication here that people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them.
Whoa. That, what? What? How? That's the implication? No, man, that's not an implication within that statement. That's crazy. Okay, for anybody that missed that because they're like not fucking paying attention. Like I get that. Like I completely understand that. To anybody that didn't get that, Shuanhead says that like acknowledging that this exclusively male fantasy, like this, I think it is, okay, like this is a male fantasy because of like the fact that it is men that are having this fantasy, okay? That's not to say that there isn't like a female equivalent, okay, whatever, but like at the current moment in the context of this movie and people tweeting about it, like, this is an exclusively male fantasy. Okay, I think we can agree on that. And the idea that critiquing that is like saying that disabled people don't deserve to have, like, romantic partners. Like, no, man. It's just, we're just saying that I didn't fucking tweet about this. They're just saying that it's weird for men to have this fantasy. It's a weird fantasy to have, and it's weird because it's problematic. It's weird because it's problematic, and it's obvious why it's problematic. But let's go back.
Fantasy is having a physically disabled girl that they can abuse however they want. Got it. Not to be that guy, I'm gonna be that guy. The infantilization of the physically disabled here is a little, dare I say, ableist.
It's not infantilization. It is just an accurate assessment of like what is being said here. Like men be like, oh, I wish that I had a physically disabled girlfriend, and then people are like, huh, like that's weird, like that's a weird thing to say, and then Shoe on Head is like, you're ableist for thinking that's weird, how dare you, like that, what, how is it ableist, Shoe on Head? Let's find out.
That people in wheelchairs cannot find love, and if they do, the person who loves them literally just loves them because they can't run away. Weird.
No, it's weird to want this situation to happen to you. It is weird to want a disabled girlfriend when you don't already have, like, if you were already dating if you're a man and you're dating a woman and she is disabled, that it's not that that's weird. Nobody's saying that that's weird or wrong. It's what's weird is if you're a single man and you're saying like, I want a disabled girlfriend. That is weird. Nobody is saying what you're saying.
The average woman can't run away either, okay? All right, if you really want to boil it down to something like that, the average woman can't run away either, okay? If you really want to force that discussion, all right?
Yeah, women are so weak. Women are so feeble. Yeah, like, I love the duality that's going on here. Like, at the same time as us saying that women are weak and whatnot, we're also going to say that it's actually the woke mob that thinks that women are weak and are infantilizing women. But we're not doing that. We're just objective truth seekers that believe that, women fucking belong in the kitchen or whatever. And that they
physically, they can't run away, okay? Emotionally,
yes, they
probably can't run away either, okay? Women do be codependent, okay? Women do be codependent, not gonna lie.
And there it is. And there is the truth from right out of Foodshops' mouth. That is really what this person thinks. And that is what this is all about. Okay? Yeah, I know. I know you think that about women. I know. That doesn't mean that we do. Okay? That doesn't mean that is what the woke mob thinks or whatever. Okay, we don't think that women are weak and like incapable of these things. You think that. And then you're saying that we think that, and then you're like, "Oh, you guys think that, and I also kind of think that too, but in a more realistic and objective kind of way." Like, yeah, okay, yeah, women are weak and they can't do anything. They can't.
You were saying what is special about
they're
city
just
girls?
little
City girls are the only type
babies.
I've ever known, so I was guessing what you were going to say.
Yeah.
What made them special? Okay, I mean, like if you ever dated like a country girl, right? Like fuck, I don't know, like somebody who is conditioned to be a trad wife.
I've been there.
Is kind of boring, no? Like fuck, like oh, stay home, raise the kids, and be
not necessarily. Nah, because I don't even think that women that have this idea of what tradition is in their minds and they like want to be that, I don't even think they're necessarily like that boring, because the truth is that when you're an interesting person, it bleeds through all of that bullshit anyway. It bleeds through the desire to be a traditional wife or housewife, I think. And the same is true for men as well. Men that are like truly interesting people and they have passions and hobbies about what they love. It doesn't matter if they like want to be traditionally masculine. That cool stuff will bleed through anyways. I know this because some of my best qualities would, even when I had this like toxic view of what being a man was, and like I tried to reach that ideal, which was like bad generally, I still had hobbies and I still had things that made me an interesting person, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I don't remember why I started talking about this.
It would be
now,
nice
but
if they're healthy and normal girlfriend. What makes you think
I
they'll be
need
able to
to-
handle disabled person?
need to
as
get
their
my
girlfriend?
head straight,
Whoa,
bro.
whoa, whoa,
Hey, I'll be right
normal?
back. I gotta get my pizza.
What do you mean by
real quick.
normal? These people are just so ableist, chat. Can you believe it? Chat? chat. I don't even live stream. Who's chat? I'm disabled, blind. So I showed this to my boyfriend. He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help you with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you.
Word, okay? Word! Let's fucking go, okay? Like to see true love right here, okay? He says, I love you because you're you, and you make my days happier. So what if I have to drive you places or help with cooking and cleaning? I would have done that anyway. Disability has nothing to do with it. I love you, okay? Based. What do you mean? Hold up 1 second. Wait, what's wrong with this? Wait, what's wrong with this? Fuck! Okay, what did I say? That's props fake. It probably is fake, okay? But can we just agree with the sentiment? Okay, hold on. How did she show it to him? How does she even know what she's looking at? She is blind? You can use social media blind. There's lots of helper tools to read things to you. Like, yeah, I like the one blind person that I've seen IRL, like he uses like text to speak or whatever the fuck, right? I don't know. There are subtitles and shit on Twitter, yeah. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with this. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Yeah. As someone who's half blind, that's
My
some
bad,
real
I
shit.
just had a
Yeah.
thought.
I was just wondering like what the fuck you guys were talking about. I was like, did I say something wrong? But no, no, there's nothing wrong here. What the fuck?
Ma'am, I don't know how to tell you this, but, your boyfriend is a rapist. Sorry you had to find out this way. You show this as fantasy because it's not true for the majority of men who participate in abuse of disabled people. No, the fantasy is the woman appreciates
Homeless
its
people too, I
efforts
guess.
to make her happy. Stop lying and abusing women and the disabled. You're med.
Actually, you should be able to abuse. I'm kidding, though. You know what? Yeah, you should be able to abuse women. All right, I'm kidding. No, kidding, joking. All right, I'm being sexist. Okay.
Schizo. You don't even know that f***ing guy. What do you mean stop abusing women and the disabled? Bitch, who are you? Also, the majority of men participate in abuse of disabled people. Are you okay? The majority of men are not abusers. That is a very, very small minority of men. The majority of men are...
That really depends. I think most people has displayed some abusive behavior at some point or another because no one is perfect. But by abusive, like, do you mean like a pattern of behavior in which one person is like consistently showing abusive behavior? In that case, yeah, I agree, right? But at some point, has somebody shown abusive behavior at some point in their life? 99% yes. Yeah, nobody's perfect.
Men that just...
I think that when we're talking about these issues, it doesn't matter when we're talking about any number of individuals, as it pertains to them being an individual and doing like acts on their own. Like what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if we're talking about one person being an abuser and doing abusive things, or two people being an abuser and abusive things. What matters is society, like the collective. Okay, we have statistics about these things. And so, when we're talking about abuse and the cycle of abuse, we have to talk about what are the causes for them, how do we prevent them from happening. Okay, what I'm saying is, we shouldn't be talking about like, oh, most men aren't abusers, or like some men are abusers, or whatever. We should be talking about why are men abusers? Why does this ever happen at all? It is self-evident that not all men are abusers. No shit. Okay, it doesn't that shouldn't even be a part of the conversation, because it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that it happens at all. Okay, and why? Why does it happen? Well, that is up for debate. The powers that be don't seem to really want us to talk about this debate. They don't want us to debate this. Okay, they just kind of want us to accept it as reality, like, I guess men are just abusers sometimes. But I think that it's because, and this is the same reason they don't want us talking about it, it's because of material conditions. It's because men are abusers because they are poor, because they don't have what they need. They don't have social safety nets. They don't have welfare. They don't have free time. They don't have friends. They don't have friends with free time. They don't go and do fun things. They don't have social lives. We all just work until we die. That's what we do here. And it's just becoming more and more like that as the years go on and nothing is done about it. Okay? That's it. That's it. I think that's 99, maybe there are other reasons, but that's like 90% of why abuse happens. Why domestic violence happens. Okay? It's men. Most of the time it's men, and most of the time it's because they're unhappy with their lives, with how their life turned out. Okay? Because they thought that they were going to be, I'm the main character, I'm the protagonist, and I'm gonna be a billionaire. I'm just a temporarily embarrassed billionaire. And then you grow up and you realize that that was never gonna happen. You were never gonna be that. Okay, and instead, you are stuck at a shitty job for shitty pay with a big house with a bunch of kids that you never see, and it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating to be in that situation. That doesn't mean that it's okay. I'm not saying any of this to say that like that's why we should feel bad for these men that are abusers. Okay? No, it's just that's why they are the way they are, and that's what we have to do to solve it. We have to solve the underlying material conditions that are causing them to be so unhappy with their lives and take it out on their wives and their children. Okay, it's just like the opening from the Goodfellas.
Hey, at school today.
My father was always pissed off. He was pissed that he made such lousy money. He was pissed that my kid brother Michael was in a wheelchair. He was pissed that there were 7 of us living in such a tiny house.
Tell me about this. It's a letter from school.
See, that's why this movie, this fucking scene right here is. This is a woke-ass scene, okay? I don't care what anyone says. This is woke as fuck.
After a while, he was mostly pissed because I hung around the cab stand. He knew what went on at that cab stand. And every once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. But by then, I didn't care. The way I saw it, everybody takes a beating sometime.
Anyway, back to this.
Wake up, take a shit, get out of bed, take a shower, go to work, come home, and wait for GTA 6 to come out. That is the majority of men. Men
Close enough.
commit 95% of all rape, but okay. Barging into the romance section of Barnes & Noble like, attention everyone! Rape! Where is that coming?
Dude, this video and like the little light thing that I have here, all right, the anti-fly trap thing that I have in the corner is making my room look like it has LED, okay? Technically, it does have LED, but I like the vibe that it gives this stream, okay? It's very immaculate. I like it.
From?
Yeah, very
So
bisexual. Very
close, this
bisexual
is fetish
lighting.
content. Ah yes, the dirtiest, most taboo of all fetishes. A happy relationship. Honestly, in 2025.
Okay, I just noticed I'm dressed exactly like Shu. I just
noticed that too. I noticed it because you said it. What do you call that anyway, that little scarf thing? I don't even know. It's like a tie. Ah.
Leave me alone.
That might be true. Oh, you want a wife and kids? You sick fuck. But this is literally just a perverted fantasy, LMAO. You think it's a perverted fantasy because...
I promise it's not on purpose. I swear to God, I swear to Jesus Christ, it's not on purpose. This is pure coincidence.
You just
It's
have
pure coincidence that the lighting,
you have garbage
that the
fashion
clothing is
sense.
just-
That's it.
Stop, okay? Pure coincidence. Pure coincidence. Right, pure coincidence.
And I'm not
Okay?
one to talk,
Your
okay?
background's
I'm
using
not.
these current setup.
But
That
like,
is keck. Yeah.
I don't
Do you
even
have the same
try.
haircut?
I think
No,
that's the
I don't.
difference.
Do I? What? Hold on.
Look at me. I wear the same shit every day, man. I got the same t-shirts. They all look the same. And I just be wearing them.
How do I put this nicely? You are a pervert. Literally seeing a cute montage of a male and female character having fun together, being in love together, being like, right!
Hey, she curled her hair, okay? She curled her hair. Alright, she probably used the iron to curl it. I've done it before.
He's a rapist! This is a fetish! Are these
I've
people
done it
okay?
before.
Stop
Okay.
She still looks more like Rukia than Shu. Okay, I don't know where you saw that. But
watching
okay,
porn.
thanks.
Wait, this is a woman. Okay, stop reading Taken by the Werewolf
Okay, one day I will do a Rukia cosplay. Okay, I will do a Rukia cosplay, sure. Okay. Fucking hell. Or I'll get like a fucking fake ass katana, okay, and everything.
Billionaire, or whatever the fuck you read. I swear to God, some of the shit women read would make the most depraved internet gooner blush.
Don't get one from Bleach. Don't get a Bleach
Like, actual
katana.
romance? Yeah.
Or you're
You
anti-Semitic.
don't even have to try hard. I know. Yeah. Swastika katana? You're right. I will actually.
I knew they were gonna bring that up. God damn it. God damn it, I saw that shit in my mind's eye. You really can't help it, can you? You gotta hit that note every chance you get. Hassan is a evil Nazi. You cannot stop yourself. I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
This is
No, I
'Cause
have
I'm a
dress.
genius.
Like, the thing is that, you know, it's not hard to turn a dress into something that Rukia would wear.
literally just
You're doing it right now. The only thing missing is a sword. The pen is mightier than the sword. Shwing, shwing. Okay, alright. Okay.
a fetish. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna pretend there's nobody out there who's like, she can't run away, she has no
Ooh, that's pretty anti-Semitic there, Shu, okay? I don't know why you're rubbing your fingers. I'm kidding.
legs. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend there's nobody out there who has a crippled, disabled fetish, okay? I've been on the internet for 20 years.
Oh, fuck. I think everybody has jacked off at least once to, disabled people,
Huh?
right?
What the fuck?
I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah, please.
I've been on DeviantArt. I've seen you wouldn't believe. But the majority of people, probably most, if not all the people responding to this, do not have a cripple fetish, okay? In fact, her being in a wheelchair basically has nothing to do with it. Much like how females coom over, like, vampires or, like I said before,
gonna
the
push chat down,
billionaire
okay?
werewolf fantasy. This is just the
Stay down
average
there.
male fantasy distilled down to its most extreme. So what is the average male fantasy? The average male
So, Foodshops, what is your favorite disability? Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, alright, stop. Okay, stop. Alright. Yeah.
Male fantasy is the fantasy of both men and women alike.
You
It is
said-
simply
you did
to
this to
love and
yourself.
to be loved. But more specifically, the male fantasy is to be a protector and a provider for those that they love. Put a
So
pin-
it's so wholesome. And that's all it is. And that's all it is. Nah, man, like it's so like you really cannot like for 1 second talk about how the like traditional male fantasy is problematic. Why? Like, yes, there are positive there are some things about it that are positive, and sometimes it's like, you know, being a protector, that can be a good thing, and it can also be a bad thing. It can also be bad to feel that way, to want to protect someone because and you know, you've heard this word before, infantilization. You are infantilizing the person that you are protecting in your mind. Okay, so like, anyway, Shu will never be a person that, like, because of the audience that she's cultivated, which is a bunch of like lonely men. I'm pretty sure that just watch her because they are alone and they don't have any women in their lives and they desperately want a woman in their lives, and two, because she concedes to like every single male loneliness epidemic argument ever. Like, yeah, men are the most oppressed. They're the most they're the most oppressed group. Yeah, for sure,
this
bro.
because we are going to come back to this in a big way. Trust me. The average male fantasy is being a globally known terrorist.
No legs for easy access. You're pretending as if holding the legs up isn't a huge turn on, okay? For both people. You're pretending as if spreading the legs apart isn't a huge turn on for everybody, okay? But okay, dude. Listen, no leg sex based, alright?
The average male fantasy is that a woman who isn't fat. The
I
average
thought
male
I
fantasy is
thought I misheard her for a second, and I almost spit out my drink, bro. That's
actually job
that's
security.
so crazy.
You know what?
That's
These guys
so
may have a point
crazy.
here. Pedophile alert. Men want disabled child wives. Average male fantasy
Is this what people mean when they say that I need to say like controversial things? Do I need to say shit like that? Like, is that what I need to do? I don't know.
Bro. Dude, this by the way, this weird pedophile shit only exists in the West, dude. Look at any Asian woman, okay? Any Asian woman is like small as fuck. They look like a child, okay? I'm sorry. The average Asian
No,
woman
they
looks
don't.
like a little white child, okay? Like, please,
No, they
just
don't.
understand, all right? What you see is a pedophilic relationship, okay? It's what average Asian men is attracted to, all right?
Little child.
Asian women look like women. They do not look like children. That is a freakish thing to say, and it's not surprising. It's not anybody that says that an adult woman looks like a child, looks like the common thing is like 12-year-old boy. Like, if you think that an adult woman looks like a child, you are a pedophile. You 99% likely you are a pedophile, I think. If you look at a woman and you say that looks like a 12-year-old boy, again, that's something that I've heard before. I've heard people say that all the time. Like, I used to hear that quite often about, like, various women. Especially ones that, like, have the tomboy aesthetic or whatever. If you say that a fully adult woman looks like a 12-year-old boy, you are probably a pedophile, and you're definitely gay. You're definitely fucking gay for saying that if you're a man. I'm sorry. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like it's the same thing. Like that's why I say if you say a woman looks like a child, you are probably attracted to children. Probably. If you're attracted to women and you say that woman looks like a child, you are probably attracted to children. And for this person, Foodshops, you know, I've already said it on the stream before. I've already talked about this, and I'm not gonna go through it all over again. I'm not gonna do it all over again. But this person is into lolicon. It self-admitted, basically posted on Maine that she's into loli. That she's a lolicon. I think that's the way I've been saying it. That's what a lolicon is, right? Somebody that likes that. Pretty sure. Anyway, back to this.
That men are pedos. That's a little girl. This is weird. So, first of all, she's literally older than the guy. The guy is 22 and she is 24. In anime years, he is practically hag maxing. And yes, she may be physically disabled, but aren't all.
Oh, Connie! Okay, stop. Pause. Okay, pause. Okay, continue.
Men mentally
Okay,
disabled
sidetrack.
in their own special way? At least the ones in my audience. They will freely admit this. Maybe she, the older woman, is taking advantage of this sense of.
I don't look. Shoe on Head is making a good point here. I don't know if she's right, okay, but yes, this like anime character is an adult. In the fictional universe, she is an adult, 24 years old, and so like anybody that is saying that she is a child is wrong. Is like wrong about that. Okay, within the universe, she's not a child. That being said, it depends on the way that she's drawn, okay? I haven't seen the movie. I know they were, like, showing clips of it, but to be honest, I believe that she... What is this movie called, anyway? I don't even know. With Shu is Foods, she's a lot more based than just once. Don't let Destiny's character assassination get to you. Yo. Oh, this is a real insane person right here. Joe Bostakovich. Interesting. It's obvious you're just judging Shu by what other people have said about her. Yeah, I mean, look, Foodshops, I hope that she realizes this is the kind of audience she's gonna get. And that's why I say moderates, if you try to like play the moderate too hard, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Like, yes, it's beneficial to appear somewhat moderate, depending on what kind of audience you want to cultivate. But, like, doing this is just going to attract people like this, and they're not going to like you, number one, because you're trans, and number two, because you're just like, you're not Republican enough, you're not you're not nationalist enough, you're not racist enough, whatever. Like, it depends on the individual, but that's just it.
Sensitive young
Let's
man.
keep
Have you ever thought of that? She looks like an 11-year-old child.
I'm listening to this woman's video with the straightest face. Why do you think she's so popular? It's because these people have very normie adjacent senses of humor, right? Like, I can totally picture my former roommate chuckling around, right? Like, it's just, dude, my former roommate would be chuckling around to this, okay? Like, he'll be going like, do you know what he's so normie that he'll be like, but then I would be like,
yeah, and I'd be so cool.
Where?
They would be soy, and they would be soy Jack, and I would be Chad Jack. That's the way I interpreted that statement just now. I don't know what the fuck she was going on about. That was
breasts.
weird, man.
First of all, really weird way to say that. She looks like a child. Show me her titties. Also, I love how, like, when anime women have huge...
the breasts do not define the child, okay? It's the child that defines the breasts. Okay, alright, okay, stop. Pause, okay? I'm saying some sus ass shit right now, okay? Forget that you guys heard that.
boobs.
Okay.
It's disgusting, Coomer brain or whatever. But if the anime woman has small boobs, she's a child and you're a chimo. Can't fucking win. Also, if she had big boobs, they'd absolutely be like, wow, look at this sexualization of the disabled. Also, you know, like, adult women can be flat-chested, right? Like, that actually exists in...
No way!
Yeah.
You're saying not every single...
Yeah, one of them's right in front of me. Yeah. I'm just kidding, shoe on head. I don't really give a fuck about that anyway. I don't know if it's true either. I don't know. You really can't tell. Like people talk about this all the time. I feel like small tits versus big titties, but like like women be wearing shirts, and you cannot see what's under the shirt. And it's hard to tell. Like I swear, okay, I don't know. Maybe this is gonna expose me or whatever, but I feel like I've been very surprised before. Like, I've seen women and you know, I've seen them with their shirt on and then not, and then with their shirt on, and sometimes it looks like they don't really have anything there, and then it's like, you know, and then money shot, and then it's like, oh, it's hard to tell, okay? It's hard to tell sometimes. That's all I was saying.
Attractive woman is a MILF?
I don't know why I started talking about this. I regret it.
They wanted to provide context for something 10 minutes ago. There's plenty of accessibility apps for blind people so that they can use social media, especially on iPhone. They can doom scroll too. Yeah. Yep. It's like it's less like it's like doom hearing, like doom noise. I don't know, dude. Like doom ambience.
Real life. Like, adult human women can have small boobs. We love all titties here on the Shoe on Head channel. All titties is good titties. End of story.
By the way, I just want to say, all right, there's a huge discrepancy, okay, between what people purport to like in public versus what people actually consume in private, okay? Because everyone is like, oh, I love MILFs with double Ds. I really like big boobies. Meanwhile, on Pornhub, the #1 category is like teens. And
Society.
stepbrother and stepsister porn. It's not congruent, okay?
What does that have to do with titties?
People do be hiding,
Getting
okay?
off topic.
People do be hiding what they're actually into out here, okay?
Women
True.
fantasy, a boyfriend with depth and a loving, soft, deeply caring side of them. Men's fantasy, 12-year-old anime girl who looks and speaks like a toddler.
But not
Also
you.
knows that she's
But we know you don't. Foodshops. We
literally
know
the
that.
size of a child. Yuck. Have you
Based.
people ever seen a child? No, you're all childless. Silly me. She's not even that short. She's just sitting. See, like when they're laying side by side, she's like a full-grown adult woman. Why do these people look at this and immediately think of child rape? Go to therapy. And listen, I know with anime it can get a little weird, right?
Ooh.
Like, excuse me, Poo Poo Pee Pee Chan is 2,000.
Twitter's like 1% of the population, 99 insane bots to torture us. True. Egon Chalakian. All right.
Years old, and this is poop.
And that's because you're on Pornhub all the time. Hey, I'm on Pornhub like only once a week, okay? To be fair.
Chan. But this does not even look like a child. This looks
maybe
like a
twice a
cute
week.
woman. This is like a random rant, but I feel like there are no more cute women nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody has to be like this scrumptious, hourglass, curvy beach woman. Oh, I have to be so meow. I have to be so meow. Die. Just die
Yeah.
already. Die.
Conventional
Die.
beauty
You
standards.
have all like the Insta
They
baddies,
are real.
the
They
e-thots,
do
the
exist.
e-girls, the muscle mommies, the boss babes, the boy babes. But I feel like every woman is just hot now. Which, by the way, I don't think is healthy for the male psyche whatsoever. You shouldn't wake up and be able to scroll through pictures of like the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life like 20 times before you've had like your morning cup of coffee. You shouldn't log in and immediately be one-shot.
Holy shit, they're calling. Dude, she's calling out Mats again. Holy fuck. Oh no. Sorry, only. No.
By 1010s
Sorry.
all day, as if that wouldn't make you go insane, as if that wouldn't make you crash out. Like back in the day, you'd probably see like one fine dame on your bus ride to work, and you'd think about her for 40 years until the day you die. That's
I genuinely think like there is an overstimulation, okay? With access to the internet comes access to too many girls, okay? Back then your standards would just be, a relatively cute woman is like a 10 to you, okay? Relatively cute woman with a fun personality to you is like, wow, she's like my sunshine, you know? For like 30 years. She's such a darling, right? Back then it's like, oh, Miriam, she's such a darling, okay? But now it's like 10 more Instagram babes in Dubai.
how it used to be. That's how it should be. Now every woman is like a crazy, hot, unobtainable Instagram goddess with the fattest of ass. Zoomers don't know how good we had it. You'd go to Blockbuster and the 21-year-old cashier behind the counter would be the most adorable woman you've ever seen. No Botox, no lip filler, just a pure soul, full of joy and whimsy. Now women are full of hate and SSRIs. But they're hot. They're hotter than they've ever been. They're hotter and more depressed than they've ever...
Well, it's kind of like suffering from success, right? If that makes sense, right? Because the more
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, things used to be so great. Things were so much better. Things were so awesome. Oh, I wish we could go back. Oh, yeah. But keep in mind that this person, Shoe on Head, if she lived back then and she were like the way she is now, she would be like, oh man, remember like in the 80s when before home video, remember when men would only get like one dirty magazine and they would look at it and they would like think about that for their whole lives? Like, this is the kind of shit she would be saying back then. It's just so fucking stupid, bro. Like, no, things are not like way worse now for men and like their romantic prospects. It's just not, okay? Like, stop telling men this. Stop telling your male audience this. They are going to explode. like metaphorically. And when I say explode, I mean they're gonna like shoot up a school, okay? Because they're probably mostly white men. They're probably gonna fucking shoot up a school if you keep doing this. Stop saying this shit, man. Just go outside. Just go. There are still women outside. Just go talk to them. That's all you gotta say. You don't gotta like say all this shit. I'm sure Shoe on Head like also says stuff like that to some extent. But like, just like stop with all the like culture war, woke fight. Gotta fight the woke. We gotta go back to the simpler times. Like, just stop. Stop it, Shoe
fuck
on
me,
Head.
dude.
I'm finger wagging you.
Because of the rise of the internet, okay? Because of the rise of the internet, this is ultimately what happens, okay? All right. Technology got ahead of morality, okay? Technology became too fast for
technology is so
morality to
bad.
catch up on.
So
okay?
bad, so awful, so terrible.
The gap.
Yeah,
the gap-
that is what is making our lives bad. It's technology. It's modern technology. It's totally not the consolidation of wealth by the ruling class. It's totally not that. It's because men keep looking at hot girls on their phone. That's why. Yeah, that I'm sure.
The gap more than the thigh gap of Instagram babes, okay, between morality and the progress of technology has become an abyss, okay? It has become an abyss, alright?
Never been in history. Sad. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, anime. I didn't take my Vyvanse today, could you tell? Men's fantasy. A big titty
I took my Vyvanse today.
woman with the face of a 16-year-old that is useful for cooking, cleaning, and sex. Women's fantasy. Gets treated like a queen and a man who keeps tracks of our periods so he can take care of us. I think I speak for a lot of women here when I say
Isn't that Leibniz's argument of yesterday's
Yo,
video?
if a man keeps track of your period, that is grounds for immediate dismissal. That, I don't know, man. That is suspicious. Like, are you like, if I were a woman and that happened to me, I'd be like, are you a agent? Like, are you a Fed? You a Fed? That's what the I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say Fed, man. That's what the fucking QAnon people say. But, you know, I'd be like, are you a fucking KGB operative? Like, why do you know
The
this about
normalization
me?
of porn? Yeah. But the reason I'm making fun of her is because she's a lolly VTuber, okay? Who's saying that, alright? It depends on
Wait, what?
argument of yesterday's video, the normalization of porn. Yeah. But the reason I'm making fun of her is because she's a lolly VTuber, okay? Who's saying that, alright? It depends on who's saying it, okay?
Oh, I think she's talking about that leaflet person. I'm pretty sure.
Actually, fuck it. Dude, shoe on head, oh, whatever. Okay, actually, nah. I think her looks are more vanilla now, okay? I think her looks are more vanilla compared to other, like, compared to, like, if Amaranth was saying this, die. It's because she was hot? To be fair, like, she is hot, but, like, the way that she is dressing is, like, look, she's not, like, in a bikini, you know what I mean? Based.
do not, in fact, include men tracking our periods. Personally, if my husband was like, honey, just a reminder, you're in your luteal phase, I'm taking the kids. Men like to pretend they want this, and then they beat their wife when dinner isn't ready, or their son when he's misbehaving.
That's basically
First of
what
all,
I
I'm
said.
sorry that happened to you. But there are,
Yo,
in fact,
me
good
and
men
Chew
out
on
there.
Head
I've seen
actually
them.
agree
Some
on
be in
something.
this very audience.
Let me make a video about this and title it, I agree with Shoe on Head
Father,
for once.
the call of your friend. Why is he tagging me right now?
Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face.
Get it
This is
out.
the shoe on head audience. You're all gremlins. Male fantasy equals a woman that can't run away from him. A woman that's dependent on him. Interesting. When men are involved, it's basic survival instinct to assume the worst. Men are guilty until they prove themselves innocent. You know what? I take my opinions back on free
That's a
speech. I
little
changed my
extreme.
mind. No more free speech. No more free speech until you bitches learn to behave.
Yeah, if you say something that is like hyperbolic about men, or you make like some statement like that about men, I want to take your free speech away, and that's valid. No, it's not. It's not, okay? They can say that. They can say that. Who gives a fuck? Like, obviously, it's a joke. I feel like, obviously, it's a joke. Maybe it's not obviously a joke, but, like, I don't think anybody really thinks that, like, oh, yeah, men must prove their innocence. Men are guilty until proven innocent. In the eyes of our judicial system, it's, while ideally it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, in reality, it is guilty until proven innocent a lot of the time. But typically not for white men. I wonder why that is. I don't know. I'm once again getting off topic, but that is kind
A
of
woman's fantasy
interesting
is a man who won't
to
rape
me.
her, and a man's fantasy
An
is raping a
interesting
woman.
statement for Shoe on Head to make here. Not that
I'm
I
sorry,
agree with
where
it.
is the rape, ma'am?
I
Maybe that's how
specifically
you-
don't.
I mean, a lot of women have rape fantasies too. Like, are we gonna pretend that doesn't exist? Like, right?
You see it because you're brainwashed to
No.
hate men. So true.
Who's
I hate
who's
how, but in
pretending?
reality, women are the real demons here. Oh, god damn it. We just want a happy relationship. Is it
Yeah,
so much to ask?
people be having problematic fantasies on both sides. We know. We know. The reason that Shoe on Head is pretending, like, or implying that, like, that's not real or whatever, it is because it's just an inconvenient thing for her to acknowledge. Of course it is. Like, it is contrary to the the narrative that she is spinning here about how men are like super oppressed or whatever.
Ask for? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh look, more misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men. This is why 70% of anime is garbage. So, here...
I was gonna say quite often the opposite. Dude, listen, the people who have the most rape fantasies have been raped as a kid, but then now it developed into a rape fantasy. So, you know, life is complicated, okay? I'm just gonna say that, alright? A lot of child sex...
life is complicated, but not because of that. Like, that's not fucking complicated at all. It's the cycle of abuse. If you know anything about the cycle of abuse, then that makes perfect sense. Like, obviously, yeah. People who are abused as children oftentimes go on to abuse children themselves, or even adults. Okay, it happens. It's a very well documented thing, and it's just like, it's not complicated. It's not that, not on like an institutional, not on a societal scale. It's not complicated. For the individuals, it's, you know, oftentimes complicated, sure. But like, you know, no, it's not like we're talking about society right now. We're talking about politics, okay? We don't need to overcomplicate these things. There are reasons that things happen. There are things that we could do about it, and you are not advocating for them. You are making slop, attacking people who really want to do something about it. People who are making propaganda to further the cause for doing something about it, for changing our institutions, our society. That's what you're doing.
Abuse victim survivors end up having rape fantasies, okay?
Here's the thing, that misogynistic gooner fantasy slop written by misogynistic gooner men was actually written by Saiko Tanabe, a woman. A woman wrote this story. And I feel like a very important detail everyone is sleeping on when they covered this was the fact that this is very much the female fantasy as well. A man loving you for who you are despite your flaws, literally sweeping you off your feet and carrying you around on adventures, helping you live out your dreams, face your fears, and supporting you through the good and bad times. You're going to sit here and tell me that's not the female fantasy too? Is this not the basic female fantasy? Is this not the knight in shining armor coming to rescue you and falling in love with you? Why on earth are so many women so mad at this? Are
You
men
dyed
now
your
the
hair?
hopeless
I sure did. I sure did. What do you think? What do you think? It's pretty nice, right? Wait, let me do a spin around for you. Hey, why do you always come in here when I'm looking at the most nauseous, most nausea-inducing political slop that I can find for the day? I do watch other creators as well.
Be gone, vile misogynist.
But only the ones I hate.
Here? Also, that aside, they're literally...
Okay, right. Okay, I was gonna say this, alright? Somebody once said, okay, I'm not sure who
I
said
only
this,
want
maybe it was
woke-ass
Destiny,
liberals in my audience.
But somebody once said that a lot of feminist activists, alright, even back then, loved the trad male partner. They really like trad male partners, okay? Yeah. I used to watch a lot of Sean Head years ago. Her content feels like it did 8 years ago. Her content does feel like it's a blast from the past, isn't it? Like, her content unironically feels like it's never aged.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't need to adapt, when you don't need to like change your content in response to your audience, like when you are when you are beholden to your audience and your audience is also beholden to you. You have no reason to change. Like, nobody wants you to change, and also on top of that, like, you're already making content that they are like slopping on, you know? This is what happens. This is the kind of content that you begin to create. It is going to be the same for years and years. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep changing up my content.
It really is a gender-swapped version of this.
You know what? She has not aged either, okay? That's a compliment.
Story called Perfect World.
Oh,
I disagree with that.
I
disagree with that. She was...
Oh, no.
No,
Do not come
like,
forward,
everybody
ladies.
ages.
Men will statistically leave their wives
And Sean
partners
Head
in
has
the moment they
very
find out they're disabled
obviously
and have a
aged,
life-threatening
man.
condition. You're right. It is a fantasy. Actually, that study was debunked by the authors themselves, who admitted they did the math wrong. It's actually not much higher, but then again, even if it was, and it happens, I've seen it happen to people, it's terrible. Marriage should be through sickness and through health, but that's not really the
You're right. Love is love, okay? Which is why I support a 35-year-old and a 2-year. Okay, all right, stop. Pause. Okay.
point here. And the fact that so many people are focusing on the wheelchair part of
I know it's supposed to be a joke. I know that. And it, you know, it's not a funny joke, even if it... Here's the thing. I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke when Foodshops says shit like that. Because, like, this person is, like, at least a pedophile sympathizer. At least. Just based off of what I know she said. She is, like, defended lolicon, and she is admitted to being a lolicon herself, and, like, yada yada. But, like, that's why it's especially not funny when you say shit like that.
this just proves that they just don't get it. The ones of pure mind
fucked.
and pure soul
That's
get it.
fucked
But these
up.
fucking semen demons out here,
I'm
they
sorry,
don't get
okay?
it. But not all.
If you watch me, listen, this is just my standard, okay, for my, look.
All semen
Right, it's
demons.
fine.
The amount of people in comments who just don't get that men want a cute, loving girlfriend is beyond me.
when do they
They call
not
them
kidding.
creeps for wanting actual love and not a girl boss who only wants your money. Ah, thank you. A sane person. Hopefully the replies aren't full of people calling her a pick me. Pick me alert. Least obvious pick me. Me, pick me please. Hope he picks you, sis. Pick me, pick me, pick me. An incel could have written this. Fuck. Why are so many VTubers either pygmies or racist? You mean why do so many female VTubers disagree with you? Why so many aren't towing the mainstream liberal feminist NPC line? Because they can. See, the most powerful weapon women have against other women is social ostracization. You don't want to be seen as a pygmy or a racist, so you keep your mouth shut in order to survive in female social circles. But in the cases of VTubers, virtual YouTubers, they're basically anonymous. They can say anything they want. They're
Do you think Shionhead is a pick-me? Yeah.
Yeah. What? So that is like a moment of clarity for Shuonhead. That, like, I think that Shuonhead is an insane person, and I usually only agree with her on, like, trivial things, like, or things that we kind of take for granted as being truths. But in this case, that is a surprising moment of clarity, I think. But obviously she's going to come to the wrong conclusion, and that is it's because, like, these women, these VTubers are just so smart and based, and that's why they're saying these things, because they just, like, love the truth. And in reality, it is they probably genuinely, a lot of these VTubers probably genuinely believe the shit that they're saying, but there is more of their right-wing content creators are in demand, okay? They, like, people want this. I'm not saying that that's, like, good or okay, or I'm not even saying I have an answer for what to do about that, but, like, it just is what it is. And these VTubers are just capitalizing on that. Will they be successful? I don't really think so. I think that if any VTubers are successful, it'll actually be in the long run, it'll be the left-wing ones. You know, I know that we're seeing, like, Nuxanor and Leaflet, they're kind of popping off, and they're VTubers, they're right-wing, super right-wing. But I don't think that their fame will last that long. I just don't think it will. I think people will move on. People will find out that Nuxanor is like a gay twink or some shit, and they'll, like, you know, drop him for that. And they'll find out that Leaflet is like a woman or something, or they'll find out that I don't know. They'll drop her for some shit too, because she's like a stupid woman or something. She'll have some like slightly left-leaning opinion relative to where she's at on the political spectrum, and they'll drop her for that. So it's just like, what I'm saying is, like, unless you are extremely right-wing and you're like, and you're trying your hardest to be even more right-wing all the time in times like these, you're going to get left behind as a right-wing creator. But anyway, but the VTubers are just based in Epic, am I right?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna say?
basically wearing a mask. They're free.
Of course she would defend pygmies. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, that doesn't mean that she doesn't have a point. Okay, whatever. All right, look, she is a pygmy. Okay, she's literally married to somebody who is like a far right winger who is like bonkers. Okay, so take that as you will. All right. The bourgeoisie cannot. Okay, wow. Who let this guy in here? What a killjoy. Bye.
God damn, people
from the
are
chains
crazy,
of the
man.
eternal HR Longhouse. But apparently even being anonymous online
paying
does not
attention
save
to
them
this,
because
though.
they still get doxxed for simply not hating men. Lovely. Maybe I should save this rant for a different video someday.
I think every time you conflate Twitter and real life, you should have a coin flicked at you. Yes.
Moving.
Bro, most people IRL, they would be like, wow, a lady who is disabled, well, you know, there's probably a lot of difficulties that go into this kind of stuff, and then a lot of women be like, yeah, you know what? I mean, it looks a little creepy, but, you know, as long as love is love.
On. Men are why we can't have nice things, by the way. First of all, men make all the things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just realized it was a man saying that. It was a whole ass man saying men are why we can't have nice things. I don't deserve this trophy. This is for you, sir. This is for you. I'm not worthy. Listen, I make women jokes. I'm very critical of feminist.
I don't like how Seth shared this to me, because, fuck, usually I do make fun of her, okay? Usually Usually I'm laughing at her because I think she's a moron, okay? Which she objectively is, okay? When she's talking about U.S. politics, when she talked about USAID, like, she sounded like the dumbest person on the face of the planet. But, like, again, with these people, when it comes to social commentary, all right? This is why they should stick to social commentary, okay? Because when it comes to social commentary, nobody...
Why do you disagree with her about USAID? I thought that you'd be, like, all... I thought, that, like that's your side, like... I mean, I know I'm wrong. That Foodshops is highly critical of the Trump administration, but she just like is also extremely Islamophobic, and so I'm like, sometimes it confuses me when she's like, oh yeah, I actually like don't like the Trump admin for doing this, and I'm like, well, like, but they're like super Islamophobic, so like, shouldn't you like that or whatever? But she does like that. She doesn't like the objectively dumb fucking things that they do, because it fucks up the bag it fucks up the American bag, man. Like you need to be Islamophobic, but not to the point where you're like annihilating our economy and all of our soft power initiatives. Yeah, anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Well, the moment you start speaking up about, like, the CIA and the USAID, you sound like a lefty, dude. You sound like Wintermute. Right. I said it. That's right. No one
Something tells me that Shuan Head does not have any lefty opinions when it comes to USAID. But if I'm wrong and she does, then that would be kind of crazy. That would be kind of crazy, straight up. But something tells me that she thinks that like USAID is fucking DEI woke. George Soros.
No wonder it feels all true.
And propaganda aimed at women. But you will never catch me in a million years saying some shit like women are why we can't have nice things. I have a mom, I have female family members, I have female friends, maybe one day I'll have a daughter. Women make the world a beautiful place, and like men, can be flawed and deserve.
Women make the world a beautiful place?
Criticism, like anyone else. But there's something genuinely so cucked about people who put down their own gender or race. Oh god, race. Self-hating white people. Don't get me started on self-hating white people. White people are so evil. I hate being white. White people can't dance. White people food is so gross. You're not getting into Wakanda.
I actually do think it's incredibly cringe.
You're not getting invited to the barbecue.
You're right. I need a soundboard. Okay, I need a soundboard. Hold on.
Yeah.
Bro, you're not getting invited to the cookout. Enough. But yeah, women were not the only ones who had a problem with this. There were a lot of men who didn't quite relate to this being the average male fantasy. It's fine to love the disabled. I didn't need to remind you that.
I think it's fun when my white friends make fun of themselves for being white. That's fine, okay? You do you, okay? I think it's cringe, okay? I think it's cringe humor. But if a white friend of mine, I don't have any friends, by the way. If a white friend of mine ever said something like, I'm so white for doing this. Oh. I'm not gonna be like, don't you know you're degrading yourself and you look totally retarded right now? I'm not gonna say that. What the fuck? I know my social fucking behaviors, okay? I know what the social norms are. You don't make fun of someone's sense of humor like that, okay?
But you glorify it? This anime is certainly
Yeah,
Marxist
good.
propaganda. The movie is about him taking a job as her caretaker, and when he learns of her dreams, he makes it his mission to help her dreams.
If it were coming from a legitimate place, like the reason it's cringe is not because like, oh, it's not. It's because it's not true. Like you're not degrading yourself by like, you know, making fun like white humor or white like making fun of white people is like, it's not real, okay? Because whiteness isn't fucking real. There is no white culture. Okay, that's the real reason why it's stupid. Like fucking casserole, but potato casserole or what the fuck ever is not a white people thing. It just isn't. And that's why, to me, it's not funny. Like, I don't associate any of those things with whiteness. But, you know, these people want to say that it's actually cringe because, like, white people are the real victims. They're being replaced or whatever. They're like, white people hate themselves because of history or some shit. And it's so disingenuous. It's so like unserious because you're basically saying that like white racism is real, which it's not, and also it's like a lot worse than real racism against actual minorities, and it's just stupid. It's just I don't know why I spent
it is
so much
Marxist
time
propaganda to help a
saying all
disabled
that.
person pursue their dreams.
Y'all already
Don't-
know.
Yeah, it's woven in. Empathy is the target of propaganda.
shit.
Marxism is when girl in wheelchair. I love this. Empathy is the target of propaganda. Every piece of media that makes you feel empathy is communism. Political brain rot. If you're at the point where you see this and you're thinking of communism, you need to log off.
I make fun of myself for doing cliche.
That isn't true. That isn't true, and I'll explain why. Okay, the reason that you should think about communism when seeing shit like that is because we live in a society where disabled people are brutalized, we treat our disabled people, our elderly people, our children so cruelly. It's evil what we do to them. Through no fault of their own. All children, all elderly, and all disabled people understand innately that like they're like nobody gets a free meal. You know, like there's none of that. There's no welfare. There's no social safety nets. Year over year, it is taken away even more. And anyway, that's why it should make you think of communism, not because like whatever sharing is caring. What the helly?
Mexican
Yeah.
things too. I guess it's just my type of humor.
Hey,
so
I'll be
we
right
have
back.
3 Mexicans in chat now. I think it's time for a C-cot, okay? I'm kidding. Yeah. I think it's funny when you do it around the group you are making fun, OG. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think if it's white people under each other, it's fine, but if it's a white person making fun of themselves towards a minority, it's a virtuous. Yeah, sure, I agree with that, I think.
You are unwell. I'm sorry, but when I reproduce,
Shout out my Mexican friends here in chat. Base.
I don't want a high probability of my offspring being mentally or physically retarded. We need a better class of incels whose bar is higher than the retarded. She's not retarded, she has a spinal injury that's not genetic. Also, what is this LARP? I love how everyone is just kind of having like a normal conversation about this clip, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, I would never put my pure white seed in such a vile creature. Like, you absolutely know this guy has a non-white girlfriend. They all these like, I hate white people women always have white boyfriends. All these, I hate non-white people boys always have non-white girlfriends. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it too many times. I guarantee you when this man logs off of his Black Sun Roman statue Twitter account, he's clapping Latina booty.
Bro, nothing like a white couple, nothing like a young white couple who is like, don't you know that you're racist? Don't you know that's problematic? Die! I hope you guys break up tomorrow.
Cheeks.
Okay.
My fantasy is not being a simp, but okay. Fellas, is it simping to love a woman? Nah, this is not the male fantasy. That man is a beta male. If she wasn't in a wheelchair, she would leave him for Chad.
Nice. Winter on your... Oh, do you talk about anything other than capitalism and the bourgeoisie and socialism? Like, please, please stop making this part of your personality. It's so cringe, okay? It's so cringe. Stop making leftism as a part of your personality, okay? All right, it's cringe. I don't make being liberal as a part of my personality. I don't do that. Believe it or not, I don't.
Oh, we know.
Fellas.
Oh, we know you don't. Jacob, we should play some Faz or another game. I don't know, I'm bored. You just hit me up whenever you're bored. That's what you do. Yeah, well, how about you boredly watch my stream? How about that?
Is it beta to love a woman? This is
And
not
I at
my
least had
fantasy.
excuse to
This is
You're
some
gonna be
gay
bored
shit, to be
anyway.
honest. Fellas,
Might as well spend it here.
Bro, you're a liberal streamer. Well, guess what? Goodbye. You got the wall.
She's not a liberal, by the way. Not even like at this point, I'm convinced that this person is just a conservative.
a woman what no
So-
pussy does to a motherfucker. Brother, I've seen what pussy does to a motherfucker, and it's far worse. The average male fantasy is taking care of their crippled wife. I don't think I've ever had that fantasy before. I thought it was going to be about going on some quest to kill the dragon to win the princess or something. It is. That is the average male fantasy. But there are no dragons to slay. There are no princesses to save. But there is that little old lady in the grocery store who can't quite reach that top shelf.
This
There's
video
Twitter
made
people to
me
fix,
hate
okay? There's Twitter people to fix.
Oh,
what's
there's that heavy box
the
the pretty girl you work with
difference
can't quite lift herself. There's that jar of tomato sauce your wife
produced
can't quite open. There's that Lego
by
set your little son
Dr.
can't quite
Dre
put together himself.
and
Or there is this
Zibbit.
paraplegic girl who wants to see the ocean. This
that how you spell his
is
name?
the Princess and the Dragon story. And despite what many are told, men do have a lot of love
Hey,
to give.
that is how
And
you
they want
spell
some
it.
kind of excuse or mechanism to show that love. In a world where men expressing themselves
This 30-minute video could be
Zibbit
summed
is
down,
of Pimp
okay,
My
to
Ride.
a really easy
the
message,
fuck a
okay?
fucking
You
course
just simply
because
say
I'm
this.
bored and want to play a game with you. Aw,
Objectifying somebody down to only their core attributes is bad.
thanks, Kerrigan.
Roll credits.
Just admit it. I'm a secondary. I'm a last resort friend to you. Just admit it.
Shoe on head. That's it. Okay, that's literally most basic fucking message ever, dude. Literally, yeah, it literally is a nothing burger, dude. Like, obviously, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Okay, but it's too long. It's too long for such a simple message, okay? The message is, don't be a dickhead, okay? That's the message. The message is, nigga. Okay, why did I do that? Stop.
is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing
God
their love is solving
damn.
problems. Men fucking love solving problems. I don't know what it is. They also love
Unhinged,
reading Wikipedia
man.
articles. The amount of times I walked over and my husband is reading a random fucking Wikipedia
Did anybody
article
else
about,
see
like, the
that?
world's tallest
Did I-
buildings or like a random
did
battle
I
in World War
hallucinate
II,
her
I didn't
saying
explain
that?
Problems. I don't know what it is.
Okay, why did I do that? Stop.
I don't know.
The message
I don't
is,
know why you did
Don't
that.
be a dickhead, okay? That's the message. The message is,
message.
nigga. Okay, why did I do that? Stop.
Is either seen as toxic or gay. And one way of expressing that love is solving problems. Men fucking love solving problems. Don't
I
know what
hope
it
I
is.
don't
They also
get
love
banned for
reading
that.
Wikipedia
I'm
articles.
sorry.
The amount of times I walked
I
over
shouldn't
and my
have
husband was
even
reading a random
replayed it.
fucking Wikipedia article
That's
about like the
crazy.
world's tallest buildings or like a random battle in World War II. I didn't know if this was autism
That
or
is-
what, but
that
apparently
is-
it's a man thing. Anyway, yes, men love solving problems. And in a world that makes them
Yo,
feel
chat, clip
useless, makes
that.
them
Clip-
feel like they have
yo,
no
yo, chat,
purpose,
clip that.
men desperately feel like they need to prove their worth. They are desperately looking for a purpose in life. So it is not at all shocking to me that the modern young man is seeing a
Why are you ulting to? Wait, what did she say about her husband? Fuck, I have no more nose. My nose just disappeared.
clip like this and longing for
Can't
this.
say that,
A lot of modern
Kerrigan.
men don't have a chance to prove
can't say
themselves,
that, Kerrigan
to make something
underscore
of their
M.
lives. They don't have a chance to provide anything for anyone.
Well, as you can see, I could allow it, or I could deny it. I don't know. What do you think? Deny it? Yeah. Yeah, this is homophobic. You're right. You're a homophobe. Denied. Put that shit back where it was. Okay.
because they don't have anything to provide and they don't have anyone. They are doing everything their grandfathers did, but seeing none of the results. They're lost. What
just
because
you spam it doesn't mean it's gonna let it through.
As I said earlier, her being in a wheelchair
I'll
is
allow
the
it.
protector and
I'll allow
provider
this one.
instinct taken to a extreme. And yes, it is a fantasy, considering if you ask anyone who's actually in a wheelchair, they know it's
Protector provider instinct? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not instinctual. I get what she's saying. I don't know. It could be a remnant of like, but like what I'm trying to say is like men are like this not because of fucking instinct, okay? It's because of the way we raise them. It's society, and maybe that's because of like what life was like in the wild before society. But I don't know. It doesn't really fucking matter. Okay, men, the protection mindset that men have is problematic. That's all that is being said here. And Shoe on Head is like, you hate all men! You hate all men! How dare you!
Okay.
How dare you! You hate all men!
not all butterflies and rainbows, and they know that it's hard on relationships. It can be difficult on their partner. But just like in the movie, it's not shown as butterflies and rainbows. Josie feels like a burden. But towards the end of the movie, the guy takes on that burden. Not because he gets something in return, but because it's his duty. Because it makes her happy, which makes him happy
Like
in return.
duty?
Loyalty, duty, virtue, acts of service, big or small. Men live for that shit. And yes, these are stereotypes. Not everyone fits into these boxes, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, it's true. When many men look at this relationship, that is what they see. And a lot of modern women are looking at this relationship and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the
I literally don't even know if women look at this relationship and they are disgusted. She is just taking something from Twitter and then just extrapolating it to all modern women, okay? Literally pick-me material. Quite literally being a pick-me, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, alright?
I don't think that's what she was doing, but she is still wrong for what she's saying, okay? Because, hold on, let me run it back real
Something
quick.
from
Hold
Twitter.
on.
looking at
I
this
wanna hear what she's
relationship
saying.
and being disgusted because, in a way, it's the complete inverse of the
I literally don't even know if women look at this relationship and they are disgusted. She is just taking something from Twitter and then just extrapolating it to all modern women, okay?
Yeah, not exactly, but what she is saying is that this is like indicative of like the way that these like woke ass feminists are like projecting their insecurities onto men in general. And it is the only way that you can come to that conclusion is if you deny the reality that we live in a patriarchy. We live in a society that is innately oppressive of women and dissenting to women. And we infantilize women. We say we like it certainly more overtly in the past we've given women a role of servitude. And what I'm saying is it's still kind of like that today, and people like Shoe on Head exist to defend that hierarchy.
Literally pick-me material. Quite literally being a pick-me, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, alright?
That who is
Any
that?
normie woman looking at this, they'll be like, oh cool, it's a cute
Dog
anime movie.
face.
I don't think they hate the movie, dude. I really don't think they actually hate the movie.
I want to get some custom emotes in chat. I want to get one that's a rat. I really like. They got Darth. Is that Darth Jar Jar? Yo, hey, everybody, put a Darth Jar Jar in chat. Can I get Darth Jar Jar in chat,
movie,
please?
okay? I'm pretty sure it was a smash hit with women, actually.
strong, independent woman, they've been sold. They've been told
If I
they
were to
need to
guess.
be. The modern woman crafted by modern Disney for modern audiences. Unlike the Hollywood-crafted modern woman, this woman does need her man. She is not strong, and she's not independent, at least physically. This doesn't mean she's like an empty vessel with no thoughts or freedom. No, in fact, in the movie, Josie does roll away from him a few times. It is a fantasy not because of a power imbalance, but because the man has a tangible purpose, and the woman is willingly and lovingly letting him fulfill that purpose.
Was that copyright? That was cute. But was that copyright? Fuck me,
something
dude.
good to die for, to
Okay.
make it beautiful to live. This manifests in a lot of ways, but the most common
Yes,
is having
the
a
song,
loving
the
partner
beat
and or
is
a family.
copyrighted.
Something unobtainable to many people.
I don't know how
nowadays.
she's
so
getting
yes,
away with
literally
using
one
it.
of the most normal
Bum,
things ever
bum,
is
bum,
becoming a fantasy.
bum,
Sad.
bum,
Also,
bum,
men will
bum.
deny this, but they absolutely have a biological clock. It may not hit in your
This
teen.
video is making
I mean,
sick of that
Isn't that
song,
the whole
by the
point
way.
of a fantasy?
That's why I posted
Like,
this.
I feel like this is literally the whole point of a fantasy, though. I mean, isn't the fantasy supposed to be just that, fantasy, not reality? I mean, the opposite of fantasy is reality, right? You're allowed to fantasize about what the fuck you want, Mr. Girl reference. But like, no, like, yeah. I mean, it's just fantasy. Just
The point of a fantasy is that you want it to be reality. Maybe you realistically won't think that it's going to be reality, but the point is that you want it to be. That's the point of fantasy. Okay, so it's not just like that. It's not like just something that is the opposite of reality. I would not reduce the word fantasy to opposite of reality. That's stupid.
listen, just let people have dreams. Let people have dreams. Oh my god. Shoo! You
And
turned
don't
this
talk
video
about
into
it.
something that's way too fucking long, and now you must die! Die! Apparently, die! Just why did you make this so long?
Just so you understand, I have suffered twice as much as you, okay? Because the original video is like 30 minutes, and you reacted to it in an hour. And your hour-long reaction, I have taken 2 hours to react to. So, yeah, I feel way worse. And
To
also,
your 20s, but one
I
day
feel
you-
like it's been a lot harder for me to react to Foodshops than it has been for Foodshops to react to Shoe on
You're going
Head.
to have a dream. You have a
That's
little
just
daughter
my
making
opinion.
pancakes with your wife in the morning, and you're not going to be able to get it out of your head. And
Okay, you repeated the same message. You repeat the same message like 50 times at this point, okay? Alright, you're like,
Yeah, that's what her audience wants. Like, what? they're incels. They're
you said this message like 50 times. Shoe on it. Just put the shoe back on your feet, or for the love of God, you stupid. Shoe on it.
that is the male biological clock. Everything you do, the money you make working that grating
fuck, man.
Okay, 2 times speed.
I think Foodshops may have gotten a hold of whatever Elon Musk was taking. I don't know for sure, but
job.
I
People
think she might be
You
on
will come home to a warm
something.
and happy home, greeted by people who care about you, and love that.
You put it on 2 times speed.
For wanting something bigger and more important than yourself. For wanting something beautiful and normal. And that is the average male fantasy. That and 3 hot chicks at once. Hell yeah, brother. Haha, you know what I'm saying?
See, you shouldn't have put it on 2 times speed at like the last 3 minutes of the video. You should have put it on 1.25 times speed at the beginning of the
Well, that was that
video.
little video. Men in the comments, let me know.
Then
Am I
you
correct?
would
Is
have
that the average
you
male
would have
fantasy?
saved
Is it
even
not?
more
Men in the comments,
time.
what is your fantasy? And no, I don't mean that. I don't want to hear about how you want to be crushed by 12-foot futa. That is between you and God, not you and you want head. I mean, what is your ultimate dream? Do you want to travel the world? Do you want a nice big family one day? Do you want to own a farm? Do you want to live in a shed in the woods and make pipe bombs? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.
I didn't mean to click on her Patreon. Fuck me, dude. Okay, stop.
You didn't. You did. It's okay. You didn't click on her Patreon. Did you? Reading the comments.
It's 30 minutes. Oh, she really is old school, okay? These old school fucking videos. Ooh.
You make long form content as well. What are you talking about? You make like every day you post hour-long video, and I do too, okay, but I'm not fucking complaining about it. Hey, this one's an hour long. This one's 45 minutes. This one's an hour and 40 minutes. So on and so forth.